Femi, stop. We shouldn't be doing this, and I love my husband so much.
Amara, I know you love me. My brother doesn't love you the way I do. Please give me a chance.
This moment, this terrible, beautiful moment, was about to destroy everything Amara had built. But let's go back to where it all began. 6 months earlier, Amara stood in her bridal suite, adjusting her veil for the 100th time. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. In 3 hours, she would become Mrs. David Okonkwo, wife to one of Lagos's most successful tech entrepreneurs. At 26, she was marrying a man who could give her everything: security, status, a beautiful home in Ikui. Everything except the butterflies. She'd met Dave through her father's business connections. Their courtship had been practical, almost transactional. He needed a wife who understood his world, someone elegant and educated to stand beside him at corporate events. She needed stability after her father's business collapsed, leaving her family drowning in debt that Dave had quietly paid off. It wasn't a love story, it was an arrangement that made sense. The door opened and her maid of honor rushed in. "Amara, Dave's family is here. You need to meet his brother before the ceremony. He just flew in from London." That's when Femi walked into her life. He appeared in the hallway outside her suite, still wearing his travel clothes, his eyes tired but warm. Where Dave was polished and calculated, Femi was raw and genuine. He smiled at her, and for the first time in months, Amara felt something stir in her chest. "So, you're the woman who convinced my brother to finally settle down," Femi said, extending his no idea how true those words would become. The wedding was perfect, the reception was flawless, the marriage was hollow. 3 months in, Amara realized she'd made a terrible mistake. Dave was never home, always consumed by his next business deal, his next acquisition. When he was home, he was distant, treating her like another beautiful object he'd purchased. Their conversations were surface level, their intimacy was scheduled, mechanical. She was lonely in a house full of expensive things. Femi had extended his stay in Nigeria, taking a temporary position with his brother's company. He came to family dinners, to Sunday lunches, and every time Amara found herself watching him, listening for his voice, lighting up when he walked into a room. It started innocently, a joke here, a shared glance there. Then came the late-night conversations when Dave was traveling, when Femi would keep her company in the vast, empty house. They'd talk for hours about everything: books, dreams, childhood memories, fears. "Why did you really marry him?" Femi asked her one night, both of them sitting on the balcony under the stars. Amara was quiet for a long moment. "Because it made sense, because my family needed help, because I thought maybe love would come later." "And has it?" She looked at him, and in his eyes she saw everything she'd been missing: understanding, curiosity, genuine interest in who she was, not just what she represented. "No," she whispered. That's when everything changed. Femi reached for her hand and she didn't pull away. The touch sent electricity through her entire body. They sat like that for hours, just holding hands, both of them knowing they were crossing a line, but unable to stop. First kiss happened 2 weeks later, in the rain, after Femi picked her up from a charity event that Dave had missed. Again. They sat in his car, rain drumming on the roof, and suddenly his lips were on hers, and she was kissing him back with all the passion she'd been suppressing for months. "This is wrong," she gasped, pulling away. "I know," Femi said, his forehead resting against hers. "But, Amara, I've been in love with you since the moment I saw you in that wedding dress, and I know you feel it too." She did. God help her, she did. The affair consumed them both: secret meetings, stolen moments, lies upon lies. Every time they were together, Amara told herself it would be the last time, and every time she fell deeper. Femi saw her in ways Dave never had. He asked about her thoughts, her dreams. He remembered small details. He made her feel alive. but the guilt was eating her alive. She'd wake up next to Dave and feel like she was suffocating. She'd see family photos and want to scream. She was becoming someone she didn't recognize, sneaking around, lying to everyone. 3 months into the affair, Dave announced he had to travel to South Africa for a week-long conference. The same day, Femi suggested they go away together, just for one night, to a hotel outside the city where no one would know them. We need to talk about this, about us, about what we're going to do. Amara knew she couldn't keep this life of double lives. Something had to give. That's how they ended up in that hotel room where our story began.